कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडम् कृतिमहो दधो पतनकारणम् फलं शाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मना कार्यमुत्तमं पूजनं जप चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईषधि युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिवृत् देवपूजनम् उत्तमस्तवात् उच्चमन्दतः चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् आज्यधारया स्रोतसा समम् सरलचिन्तनं विरलतः परम् भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनी मता भेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनी मता पावनी मता. So last 3 days, rather 3 classes, we have been talking on Japa in details. Hope something is entering in your mind and it should work. Or else you can say, Swamiji, you keep talking, we keep taking notes, everything is perfect, but don't worry, everything is in one box, okay? But I remember, I cannot forget. So, sometimes when I talk like this, so I remember one person told, Swamiji, don't worry, whatever you are talking, everything is stored in my subconscious mind. So no problem, if not today, not even if not in this life, next life it will come up, okay? It will be useful. So I am assuring you, if not today, tomorrow is next life, okay? If not in this life, definitely next life it will come to the forefront. So don't worry. So hopefully you are not putting everything in your Pandora box. So which box you need not open? Maybe you can leave behind. Who knows, maybe it will pop up in your next life. But please understand, the teaching does not talk much about next life. It talks in this life. So what is to be done? Do it now. Because, as you know, the story, this one day, I think I have talked in many occasions, still I am trying to say the same one. Like this, there was a sadhu who was doing meditation, penance, tapas for long time. And now God only knows how many lives also he has been practicing. So he came across Narada. And remember, Narada is a great, okay? So the first journalist, diplomat, politician, anything you say, everything put together is called Narada, okay? So in India we have saying, oh, are you a Narada? Narada means the one who loves to create some issues. Of course, to create issues to solve for betterment. But he never creates issues to destroy somebody. But it appears as though he is destroying, but always end result is excellent, because after all he is a saint and he is called Devarshi. Sages of seer of Devatas. So anyway, so always he keeps traveling because he is a restless fellow, okay? You can say he is Mr. Restless, okay? So always he keeps traveling. In fact, that is supposed to be this Paribrajacharya is this exactly called Narada. Because wherever a Swami stays longer time, starts stinking. This is the truth. If any Swami stays in one place longer time, will start stinking. Because with reference to the place, with reference to people, with reference to many things, you will have slowly some soft corner. If not attachment, definitely there will be some soft corner. There is no doubt in it. Which again will lead to many complications. However, coming back here. So this Narada appeared. So when Narada appeared, of course, this great sadhaka So prostrated him and said, look, you are traveling all the time. So when you next time meet Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, will you please find out when am I going to be liberated? Is this life, especially I am very clear, is this life will be my last life? Because I am tired, please. Narada said, okay, fine, I'll find it out. And of course, nearby, one young mischievous boy was playing, suddenly discovered, hey, this Narada, the funny man, is there, so let me go and meet. And of course, he came and did namaskar. Okay. So he heard all the discussion. He said, look, if you are going to find out for him, also will you please find out for me also? But he did not know what question to ask, okay? Will you please find out? No, what? When I will be liberated, in this life or which life? How many lives? Okay? And of course, this great seeker, great sadhaka, started laughing at what nonsense you are. You are so mischievous, you do not know anything, you have not done anything. How can you say that you will be liberated? And you are asking for liberation? What nonsense? You are just imitating me. And of course, this young chap did not bother about. And of course, Narada goes, when comes back again few years. Now this young chap has grown up, but he was hanging around all the time there. And of course, now when Narada comes and this young chap also has grown up, he came also to see what is happening because he wants to know his result. And of course, the sadhak asked, what about me? He said, okay, this is your last life. I spoke with Vishnu. Vishnu said, this is your last life. Okay, so he was very happy and elated. Appa, finally. And again, remember, it is Videha Mukti, not Jivan Mukti, okay? Remember, this is the point to be noted, okay? Videha Mukti. What we call as Karama Mukti. Then, this young boy said, what about me? The young boy who has grown up, what about me? So, Narada did not know what to do, okay? But he had to handle the case because, remember, he is Devarshi, he is not ordinary person. That's why he can enter anywhere and everywhere. In fact, if he goes to any palace, any court, the king has to respect him because after all, he is a great diplomat, great politician, great journalist. He can do anything and everything, okay? Remember. So that's why. So this young man who has already grown up, young boy who has grown up become young man. So he asked, okay, what about me? How long will it take? And of course, Narada looked at one tree. I said, look, as many leaves are in this tree, okay? As many leaves are there in this tree. That many lives it will take for you. Oh, is it so? And he climbed up the tree. And after climbing up the tree, he started shaking the tree in such a force. All the leaves fell down. So when all the leaves fell down, now he asked, oh Narada, please look at now. Is there any leaf? No. Then now tell me, how many lives will it take? Definitely this life. So it shows that, jigyasutvam, most important aspect in life. Because I am bringing the topic because the verse demands, okay? By default, everybody is a mumuksha. Without knowing what is moksha, this is the very much really painful thing, this is the agony. Everybody is a mumuksha. Mumuksha means muktum ichu. The one who wants to be a free person. The one who desires of freedom. Desiring freedom. So everybody is mumukshu without knowing what is moksha, what is liberation. That's why you know. Because you want freedom while driving the car, you make sure there is enough of space in front of you. Suppose if you discover one fellow is going slow and restricting you, limiting you, what you do? Somehow you manage to overtake, sometimes wrong way, to go to the front to make sure there is enough of breathing space. You understand? So that means when you overtake and make sure there is enough of space, what does you want there? Indirectly you want freedom. So that means nobody wants to limit oneself. So in every work, in every job, in every moment, knowingly or unknowingly, you seek freedom, liberation, happiness. Remember, what you call as a freedom, that is called happiness, that is called enlightenment. Everything at one and same. There is no difference. But religious people have destroyed us. They have separated, they have differentiated, they have created division for their benefit's sake. Because if they say the enlightenment, freedom, liberation, all are one and same, then what happens? Their business will not survive. Because only you can be liberated if you are unhappy here. That is their concept. Any religious, you can be a happy person if you are unhappy here. Means if you can be permanent happy, you understand? When you go to heaven, you will be permanent happy. How you can be permanent happy? You have to be unhappy here. Unless you are unhappy here, you cannot be permanently happy there. Because what you deny here, every religion, don't worry, okay? What you deny here in this life, everything will be available in heaven for you. What a crazy idea. And everybody subscribes to this nuisance. How? So purposefully they create this division that happiness is different, liberation is different, freedom is different, enlightenment is different. Like, the best concept which was being promoted by these Britishers, divide and rule policy. Because till now the management also continues with this attitude, which is Sikh attitude, okay? That's why Britishers could not survive. Now you look at what is the Britishers' mind now. One of the sick mind in the world is called Britishers' mind. If you talk any Britishers, I'm telling you the word, one of the sick mind of the world is called Britishers. If you talk any Britishers, so proud of themselves. In that gene, that pride is there. That's why everything, once upon a time, it was the educational hub. Now it is almost collapsing. And of course for Europe, no, it was a banking hub. That is also gone. Now the way things are happening, God knows what's going to happen. However, that's not our topic. Topic is here very clear. That divide and rule policy. Remember, in divide and rule policy, presupposes that you are afraid. And you have some ulterior motive. You are not aware and sure about yourself either. And definitely that is not healthy in long run. That's why here is very clearly and carefully said that the happiness, freedom, liberation, enlightenment, all these words that you see come across, all are synonymous. It is used contextually. So when the religious people use moksha, that time this so-called spiritual people think as happiness. And of course, intellectual knots thinks as enlightenment. Religious people, again, those who are devoted, they think, going to heaven without knowing what is heaven, okay, that's a big problem. That's the most dangerous thing. Every religious devotees wants to go to heaven without knowing what is heaven, okay. It is like, you want to go to foreign countries, you are applying visa, you have converted your money, everything you have done without knowing what is destination. What a painful life, imagine. Yeah, at least you should have some information, clear information about the destination. Then you say, we will see. But interestingly, this destination is created, you cannot come back, okay? So that means you are a branded labor. You will talk about it. Bonded, branded labor. Whole life means as long as you are cut. Very unfortunate thing. However, coming back here. So that's why you need to do japa, which actually helps you not to get into any loop in your life. That the loop which is created by you or by others or in a given situation or surrounding. Because remember, the loop can be created by any means. It is very easy, convenient. Once a loop is being created And if the mind has adopted, not caught, mind never gets caught in the loop. Once mind adopts, there is a big difference, getting caught and adopting. So never ever say mind is caught with a habit. Loop means habit, okay? Never ever say that mind is caught with a habit. Never. Mind has adopted it. Mind is familiar with. Mind has developed some comfort with reference to this. Can you see the difference? Because if you say that mind is caught, that means you are completely helpless. In fact, you want to justify what you are doing it. So it is again intellectual purpose. Intellectual justification. So that's why in order to not to get caught in the loop, that which is being created by you or by others or in a given situation, surroundings, you need to take the help of Japa. In fact, Japa is the unique way to bring you away from loop. That's why inevitably, in every religion, whether it is Hinduism, whether it is Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, you name it, any religion, okay? Japa is common. Why they do, how they do is maybe different. But Japam, they may talk in different way. But the concept of Japam is there in every religion. So to make sure that one should not get caught in one's own loop. Now here, when you do Japam, that is what last time we saw, with uninterrupted thinking process. Of course, not thinking of your honey, okay? Remember, okay? That also we discussed. Anyway, don't worry, that honey thinking will not continue for last long. It will not last long, okay? 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, maybe 1 decade. Oh, too much, okay? I'm sorry. This is too much, yeah? So, anyway, don't worry. So, this uninterrupted thinking definitely is better than interrupted thinking. In fact, that is called disturbance for you when without your knowledge there is some type of interruption in your thinking. Remember, when you say I am disturbed, what does it mean? I expected, this is called expectation, or I wanted my mind to move in a given way, and it did not happen. It got obstructed. Why and how, let us not get into, that's big area. So that means it's very clear. The interruption of your thinking process is called disturbance for you. Same logic you can extend for others. So when you interrupt others' thinking process, other person also is being disturbed because of you. So the disturbance is nothing. It is just interruption of thinking process. I hope it is clear for you. So if this is the case, so the purpose of Japam is what? To make sure that you are not creating any interruption for you nor for others. Can you see this point? At any given time, at any given situation, with reference to anybody and everybody. Never ever create interruption. But the problem is, when you have created an interruption for you, or there is interruption in your thinking process, and you are not aware of it, that time you create interruption for others. Not you create, it happens, okay? Without your knowledge, it happens. This is the psychological impact, nothing else. That's why what you need to, that's why always I highlight with you all, try to fit yourself. Please understand, try to fit yourself with reference to any given situation. Never ever become a different person with reference to any situation. That's why even if during class time, whenever I discover anyone is a little different, I openly say, because of this reason. Because when you are different, that means there is some type of interruption in you already. Maybe mildly, you do not know. And sometimes widely, of course, it is visible to others and including you, but you cannot come out of it either. So that's why make sure that your thinking process, that's why the most important sadhana, we make it called Shravana. Please understand, I am not telling you jokes. If you can listen to the teaching carefully and alertly, let us say this half an hour, if you listen to me properly and carefully, this is one of the best sadhana to have in life. Because when you start listening to, please understand, and of course I am looking at you all. It's not like no time pass, not attending the sermons and or preachings, you understand? Or in India, we have this called kathas. It's not like that, because I am looking at all of you. I am observing each of your thinking process. Now, if you are able to correlate with the teaching and this teaching ambience, most important aspect, okay? If you are able to correlate, if your mind is you are able to cope up your mind with this teaching and this teaching ambience, that means you know how to handle your mind. You know how to not to give importance, how not to give importance, okay, to your mind, so that that mind will create some type of obstacles in your life. Because remember, with the help of the mind, we all function. Today I am talking to you all with the help of my mind. But because I am talking with the help of the mind, that does not mean that mind is everything. I need to draw a line to my mind. How? Being humble to myself. Being humble to the situation. Can you see this point? But the problem with me is, when I take the help of the mind, and in the process I am able to articulate properly. Let us take this example. I am able to articulate properly, means I am able to talk properly. Now what happens? I start taking the credit. Then without my knowledge, what happens to me? You know better. So that's why one has to be really humble. That's why we say, Vidya dadati vinayam iti. The knowledge has to bring humility in your life. If there is no humility, that's not knowledge. That's in fact called as information. It is a burden not only for you, for others too. That's why we say intellectual honesty in one step ahead. If there is no intellectual honesty, definitely mind will not listen to you. Please remember this very carefully, the statement. If there is no intellectual honesty, mind will not listen to you. That's why a devotee's mind is much, much better than a so-called intellectual mind. Because with reference to a devotee, makes no difference whatever religion it may be. Because a devotee, please understand, there is something called intellectual honesty. Whether the person knows or not makes no difference. Whereas with reference to these so-called intellectuals, there is no intellectual honesty at all. That's why when you look at the whole life, so the life you are proceeding, please understand, this is how I look at people. Instead of making your life simple, you are making your life complicated. Can you see this point? The whole purpose of your work, the whole purpose of your living, the whole purpose of everything that you do is nothing to make your life as simpler as possible. But what do you do? You make your life more and more complicated. You can see for yourself, how was your life in the childhood? Simple. As long as it was simple, it was great. Don't you observe this? Once it has become complicated, what happens? Forget about the thinking process of life. This is a very big thing to understand. Just look at the food habit. The God is great, okay, in this regard. When we were children, whether you are born and brought up in India or Europe or America or any part of the world, well, here many different countries are here, so Australia, all these things. Wherever you are, makes no difference. Remember, every child has developed or has grown up or has come up with a very simple food. That's why we say this is child food, okay? You understand? Child food means what? Simple. Baby food. Means whenever there is problem, stomach upset and other things, you love to go back your childhood food. Have you not observed? Whenever there is a complication in the stomach, what do? Just observe this point. You love to go back to your childhood food, simple food. Do you do that or not? In fact, it heals much faster than anything. Now as you grow, because of the tongue, you need complicated food. Then as you grow old, what happens again? We say diabetic food, okay? Nowadays it's called diabetic food. Diabetic, cholesterol, all put together, okay? Instead of simple food, hey, be proud, hey, I am a simple food. I am a simple person. Don't say that I am an old person, diabetic person. I am a simple person. I need simple dieting, okay? So the body grows accordingly. Body knows what to do, what to adapt. But unfortunately, mind does not adapt to this. Can you see this point? The more you grow old, the more your mind becomes complicated. Look at people. That's why you make sure that you are making your mind simple. And how to make mind simple? Because already I consumed my time. I do not know why I got charged today, okay? I thought of starting, but I don't know what happened. I don't know. I might have picked up something from somebody, okay? I'm sure, because when I looked at, I had planned to this verse, but when I looked at you people, it went this way. But doesn't matter. The simplicity will come when you appreciate oneness, when you don't highlight division, when you don't see the reality. So let us quickly look at the verse so that we'll look the verse tomorrow. Say that Veda Bhavana Soham Ityaso Bhavana Vida Pavani Mata. So if you look at the life, everybody thinks. So when in the previous verse said uninterrupted thinking and interrupted thinking, that means thinking is common. So what do you think? He says, you think others are different from you. Something is different from you, is one type of thinking. Because all the thinking can be divided into two categories. So that he puts it very carefully. So one is called duality thinking, other one is called non-duality thinking. So one category is called that other is different from you, or rather you are different from other. I am exclusive, you understand? I am special, I am smart, I am intelligent. What does it mean? You know better. So that means there is difference, there is duality. So you create a division, all your thinking. And another thinking is non-duality thinking. That I am not different. Nobody is different from. That's most important. Nobody is different from me. In fact, one story goes very nicely about Guru Nanak. With this I am stopping. Guru Nanak, because he was from a, let us say, from a farmer's family. So one of the story goes about him. So he was asked, but he was working. So he was asked to measure something, some rice or some grains to give somebody. So they, in Hindi, they start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bara. Then 13. That's 13 number is a very interesting number. Tera. In Hindi it is called Tera. Means Tera also, it means also yours. Yours. So what he was doing is, he was counting Tera. So he was not in the 13 number. So he has gone to yours. Yours means, oh God, it is yours. 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 So from 13, he jumped to yours. And he did not know what he is doing it. In fact, others started noticing what nonsense you are doing. You know how many times you have put? And he started saying, Tera. So even if it took a long time for him to come back to sense, to say, it is mera means mine, you understand? We say, Tera mera, a whole life is in Hindi, we have beautiful. Tera means yours, mera means mine, okay? Or tuttu me, we have got a lot of words in Hindi, okay? Tuttu me. Remember? In fact, when we fight, we say tuttu me, nothing else. Wherever there is Tera and mera, yours and mine, their fight will happen. So here he says, either you say mera or you say Tera, no problem. Either you say it is mine or you say it is yours, absolutely no problem. But conveniently if you say Tera mera Tera, you understand? Conveniently. Sorry, definitely that is not healthy at all. More of it we'll say. Please close your eyes.